So let's try and do the same thing, but this time I'll just remove the date now. I just added that. So let's say that I actually did not add, inside the person manager, I did not add the for each loop to make things unchanged, and I actually added a new wish here without the date. This is another bug that we see a lot. But the cool thing about this bug is it doesn't destroy your database. The other one is very, very critical compared to this one because you actually go in and destroy your database. That's a really, really bad thing. Now, right now we're not in production, we're just testing, we're just having fun. Doesn't matter, but if this was a live environment where you by mistake did that and then pushed it to live, you might destroy an entire database. So you have to know what you're doing here. You have to know how you work with these many-to-many relationships before you push anything to live. And another thing, test it locally a gazillion times before you start pushing things like this to production. The data of an application or a company is the most important thing we own. Don't destroy the data. If we lose the data, we lose a lot of hard work, and we might even lose some good rep for our company. So, okay, right now we actually even destroy it because it's currently in use. Oh, that's another one. If you cannot drop the database, I probably said that already. It's because you have some kind of database connection data view open like this. So if you have these guys open, just shut them down and try again. I'll just get back to you when this is up and running. So after I've shut down all the different relations to, the different views of the database, everything is up and running again. Let me try now to create a new guy again, and this time notice that I removed the date part, so we'll get another exception than what we did last time. Now this exception, as I said, is better because we at least get something that we can read. So we get through the model state, everything looks fine. When I create the wish now, because it wants to create a new wish in the database, it pops up with another exception. Conversion of datetime 2 is bad, it's out of range inside the database. Now this one means that we're trying to store something inside our database that's actually not a datetime. So a datetime has to be within a specific limit as default in an SQL database, or it'll know things are bad. And in our case, the datetime that we tried to store is year 00101 something, and that's just not allowed. So notice the cool thing, the good thing is we did not destroy anything in our database. But we cannot store things because, again, the data is not set to unchanged, so it's trying to create a new wish in the database, and the wish does not have the right date time, so we get an exception. So I just wanted to show you that one as well, because if you get something like this saying datetime 2 is not allowed, then it's because you're trying to store a date in the database that's actually not set to a right date range. So that's another issue you might see later, and if that's the case, if you see this exception, now you know what to do. You have to, of course, go in and set up some kind of date up front. Let me just stop the program and show you what I actually did here. You have to go in and set up some kind of date up front. In my case, it's the created date. I'm just setting it to datetime now, meaning that it's the current date for this exact second right now. So that's another lesson learned. But of course, instead of doing this, let's just remove it again. You should, of course, do it the right way inside a person manager. You need this for each loop to explain that each wish that we are using are just used to bind the two guys together, not create new wishes. See you in the next lessons.